What's going on, guys? I'm Nick Callister. I'm the creator and owner of Dem Thangs Liquid. I got into vaping shortly after I stopped drinking. It was something that I had really wanted to do. I had tried quitting smoking a bunch of times, using your Logic and Blue, whatever preloaded cartomizers were on the market. It never really worked for me, and I had met up with a friend who had started vaping and quit smoking. I decided to give it a try. It was something that I really enjoyed. It tasted better than a Newport, and it actually ended up working for me. When I first got around to taking vaping seriously, not just using somebody else's vaporizer, I really gravitated towards Boosted. Their original Boosted flavor was phenomenal. At that point in time, there weren't as many juice companies around. Suicide Bunny was at its peak at that point in time, in my opinion. There were certain companies that really just did things well. When Anti-Lag came out, I was obsessed with that. I really just liked just branching out, finding a new company. You see guys like Philip Rock making phenomenal juices. That was one of the ones I grabbed onto and kind of held onto for a really long time. And seeing guys like that just making it and really killing flavors were what got me going with this. I see vaping continuing to grow. The August 8th regulations looked like they were going to be a doomsday, and you see people still pushing the envelope and really trying to drive this in the right direction. You see people still motivated to make this work. We're branching out into foreign markets and really just making this into a legitimate business. It's not just a couple of kids in a basement making juice anymore. This is a thriving industry, and I don't see it really going anywhere. I see us having to jump through more loopholes, but I don't see that being too much of an obstacle. I see some people that are really determined to make this work, and I don't see vaping disappearing. I like to stay active in the community, sponsoring events, showing up at shops. I've always liked to do face-to-face business. I like interacting with people. I'm not the guy that gets on the phone and starts calling people, telling them I sent them samples and want to follow up to see if they want to place an order. I've always been more of a personal kind of guy. I like to show people that I am who I say I am. I back my product, but more so than just making a phone call. Where I see my juice line in the future is a lot more market presence, but also just being able to attend more events, being able to be in more markets. I would like to be able to push this as far as it could possibly go. Breaking into international markets now, there's really not much to stop us from expanding as far as we can make this go. I would like to be able to see this spread like wildfire. There's really no reason that it shouldn't. If the product is good enough to speak for itself, there's really not many boundaries I could place on this. Dem Thangs started out with me and my partner wanting to make a juice line. I manage a vape shop. I was working and there were a lot of companies that were making good juice, but after a while I was getting bored of everything. I wanted to have something with a little bit more of a personal take to it. The marketing comes from me just being a dude who likes speaking in New York slang, listening to early 90s, late 80s hip hop. I really love that hip hop culture, that graffiti, that New York style to it. It's authentic, it's real. Growing up, that's always what I was into. I always liked that urban vibe to it, that flair to it. We had started out, I had had a couple of flavors, and we didn't have a name, and I really wanted something that was gonna reflect how I view things, how I conduct myself. And I didn't want something polished and pretty and super clean looking that's just gonna sit on a shelf. I wanted something that was gonna grab your attention a little bit. And it started out with a joke that my friend and I had cracked probably about a year before, just ranking on one of our friends because he posted a couple of mods on a forum saying, look at these things. I asked him where he got them things from. And about a year later, I had 2 flavors, I had no name. And I decided if it's gonna be authentic, it might as well be me. I'm sarcastic completely. And I wanted to see how it would take off, and it's worked so far. As of late, Sweet Thang is my go-to. Being that it's cold in New York as we speak, I usually do like custardy flavors, more warm, desserty, savory flavors. In the summer, I do not stop vaping New Thang. It's nice, light, refreshing. It's my all-day vape, but as of right now, I'm gonna go with Sweet Thang confidently. Sweet Thang is a hazelnut cream cupcake with a hint of coffee. There's layers of custard in there. It's a really nice baked goods flavor, perfect for the winter months. New Thang is a strawberry acai refresher, similar to, let's call it the pink drink from that overpriced coffee joint. Over the summer, I was drinking those things incessantly. I really wanted something that reflected that without me having to spend, say, $6 on a drink. And I got to the lab and had to make that happen. It was driving me nuts and it worked out really well. What keeps my brand relevant is the authenticity to it. I'm not a salesman that doesn't vape. I'm not the guy going, like just calling people on the phone and trying to say, hey, listen, I have this new promotion going on. I'm gonna give you this stuff for $6 a bottle so you can try it. I like to gain market space by showing up at shops. I've driven out of state to many cloud comps. I like to sponsor events. I like to form relationships with people. I like just being me. I don't have to go in a suit and tie. My line is called Dem Thangs. Like, it's not something that I need to put on a face or really become a salesman wearing a $1,000 suit and tie. I can show up in my hoodie, go, yeah, I have a line called Dem Thangs, try it out. I have bottles in the car. There's a measure of authenticity that I couldn't give up because it wouldn't feel like me. It wouldn't reflect what I do or how I operate. And I feel like the authenticity translates. I have a lot of recurring orders and like reorders that are from people that trust me enough to have given me the shot. Once the juice sells, the product sells itself. And I think that really has to do with why the line has stayed so relevant. I go for different flavors. I'm not trying to make the same strawberry cream as 10,000 other companies out there. I really wanted to make something my own and leave my imprint on the brand. Once again, I'm Nick Callister, Dem Thangs e-liquid. Keep your eyes open, guys. I got a lot more coming. I am far from done, and I would like to see what's coming in the future. Thanks for having me, guys.